I think
I can't rhyme at all. That's not fair.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it probably would. No, I'm really excited for our Season 4 finals, Ben. And you know, this is like a very early prediction, but one of the finals that I think could potentially happen, because right now we're already in week 7, man, so we can have our eyes on the wildcards, we can have our eyes on the playoffs already. And I think a likely final, and maybe even my dream final for this season, Ben, would be Paul versus Hyun. Now, that's maybe not a final that a lot of people predicted at the start of the season, but I can see those two go all the way, and I think both of them are fantastic players.
Certainly for us, since we've had the luxury of watching these guys play all season, that would be a great final. We also have to, of course, say how much we would love to see some of the favorites, like Stefano, who's had a very rocky start to the season. How great would it be to see him come back and make it back to the finals?
Wow.
That would be really cool.
Over here, Ben, in the right top side of Daybreak, we have our lovely Deutscher, also known as German, also known as Dennis Schneider. It's Maus HasuObs, who recently casted the DreamHack Bucharest as well. But I'm not sure if he was on location or online. He was in a sort of an odd room together with Zoka. But
locked in the closet somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Their setup was a little bit odd, but they provided an excellent cast. It was really fun to listen to, and I had a good time. It's awesome to see those guys give their opinion. They are very straightforward as well.
Yes, they are.
Hasu and Zoka, they are not sugarcoating anything. they're just laughing at stuff.
It's like 3 minutes in the game. Well, this one's over.
Yeah. Were you there when White did the cast at Home Story Cup? No, this was very early on. This was Home Story Cup 3, where White was casting a game where it was like a Zerg versus Protoss, and like we were trying to make it sound exciting. Well, I think it was told me and Widra, and then like Widra was like, "Oh, if Zergling enter," and it's like, "Oh yeah, Zergling enter, it's GG." And we're like, "Okay," and we all started laughing so hard. It was so funny. But Widra was right. It was GG.
It was, man. When Widra says
it's GG,
it's GG, man. And if you don't think so, he'll send one of his thugs to change your mind.
Masa is, of course, our Canadian Terran player spawning in the left bottom side of Daybreak. The previous map was, I don't know what's going on. Okay, never mind, guys. Sorry for the small distraction over there. The previous game from Masa was a makeup game of week 6, and this was a regular game. This game was scheduled. I know some people have been wondering, hey guys, what's happening with the HasuObs versus Huck game? Wasn't that game supposed to be played? Yes, they are actually playing today, but I don't know when and where exactly. But I can imagine we're going to be able to broadcast that best of 3 in one of the upcoming days. We see Hasu going here for the 1 gate fast expand. He's going to chrono boost out the Stalker. But Ben, that's still a series that I look very much forward to. Hasu versus Huck.
Hasu versus Huck is a very anticipated match. I cannot wait to see the result of that one. A huge game, absolutely pivotal game for both of them in the season. Of course, Huck's storyline is a very exciting one, as he has been beating everybody.
Yeah, he's 4-1. He did run into Pold, and Pold was too much to handle for Huck. But overall, still a great position for Huck to be in, and he can still qualify directly for the playoffs. Because some people will wonder, like, guys, I hear a lot of confusing stories. Playoffs, wildcards, how does it all really work? What is going to happen, guys, is that all the division winners go directly into the playoffs. And then also the best 3 numbers 2, or the best 3 other players who did not win a division but have the best overall record, they will go directly into the playoffs as well. So then you have 8 people in the playoffs, and the rest of the people until, well, the people who won't qualify for the wildcards are all going into the wildcards, and then a few people in the bottom of the league, they will drop out of the NASL. But basically, being second place in your division means that you can still make it directly into the playoffs, which is basically skipping 1 round of elimination.
Puts you 1 round closer to the big bucks, which is what everybody wants at the end of the day.
We saw 1 gate fast expand ban for Hasu, as I mentioned before, but he's playing it safe, getting the 2 additional gates before the Robo. Now he scouted with the Zealot, did not see all that much. I'm not even sure if he saw the orbital floating away or not. Sorry guys, was too caught up in my story about wildcards, playoffs and whatnot. But what he doesn't know, Ben, is that Masa is going for the triple orbital opening. This is kind of funny. Look at these guys.
Whoa.
Have you ever seen that?
Sometimes obviously sometimes it happens, but it's very. So what this one guy doing the SCV return? Like this looks like it's a much longer distance. Like this mule's like working double duty. This mule right now hates this SCV. He's look at this lazy guy.
Robo is done for Hasu, so he's going to Chrome Boost out Observers. Now, I think this triple orbital opening is a strong opening. It does delay everything a little bit. Your medevacs are going to be later. Everything is going to be a little bit later. But your mid-late game is going to be so much stronger than normally because you have so much more money. And right now, it is really hard for Protoss players to put the pieces together because Protoss is not able to scout ban until there is an observer. At least in the main base of Terran, that is. And considering the fact that Hasu went those 2 additional gates before the Robo means that Hasu is going to see this all even a little bit later. So Hasu won't be able to go up to 3 Nexus as a quick response to the triple orbital opening from Masa, which makes it all a little bit harder. And it's going to make it tough for Hasu because there's going to be a phase in the game where Masa is going to be severely outmining his opponent.
Yeah, and we do know that Hasu is not a guy that, well, as the Robo Bay goes down. But he also follows it with a Forge. And we know that Hasu is not a guy that often likes to make a push off of 2 base. This is a guy that likes to sit back and macro. So Masa's opening gives him a really nice position here. Hasu now scouting it with the Observer, sees exactly what he's up against.
He sees everything. He sees the tech labs, he counts the amount of Rexes, he can see the factory, so he knows that medevacs are late. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up to 3 bases immediately, or he's still going to try to hit a 2-base timing, but his Robo was a little bit late. Once more, he went to 2 additional gates before the robotics facility, and that is a pretty big deal. He's also going double Forge, so it's kind of unlikely that he wants to hit a timing, and we can see him sending his probe down band, so he's going to go up to 3 bases immediately.
Yep, it's going to be a nice long macro game, the types of which we're quite accustomed to seeing on Daybreak.
This is a pretty serious bio army already. We have 33 supply of bio units right now on the map for Masa. That's a pretty serious amount. First Colossus in production. Ben, I am a big fan of this Observer, and I don't understand why we don't see this in every single game. If you have time enough, if you have observers enough to put them in places like that, you always want to have this. It's so awesome to spot drops, and I love that he puts it on patrol as well. Yeah,
really, really key thing there. We'll see if it actually ends up helping him out throughout the course of the game, but this is something you should always do. Guys, if having a patrolling observer only catches a drop in 1 out of 100 games, that's still 1 more game that you win because you took that extra time to put an observer in position.
Well, I think it actually wins way more games than.
I think it wins way more than that. But if it only helps you 1 time out of 100, it's still worth it.
I think it's super, like one of the hardest things in StarCraft is not having vision, because then you just don't know what's coming. Playing against Mutalisk harassment without vision is close to impossible. Playing against Terran play who drops all the time without vision is close to impossible. Unless you have cannons and High Templars everywhere. But there's going to be a phase in the game where you can't afford that, where you just need the right amount of units in the right places.
Is this Colossus trapped?
Where's the Colossus? I think it is. Oh, maybe. Might be. But
I guess he could walk down to the low ground through
okay,
that. Okay, there we go. He's
just
chilling.
is so big, man. Look at next to this gate. You can actually see how big he is.
Don't mess with my opening gateways.
He can step over the gateway if he wants. It would be cool if he could really cliff walk and he could climb on top of the gate and then stand on top of the gate and shoot at Zerglings.
Man, this Colossus is like standing on the gateway, scratching up the paint job. I would be so mad if that was my gateway.
That was your car.
Hey bro, stop standing on my gateway.
Hasu is upgrading of double forts as well. He spotted both engineering base from Masa. Wow, this is really quick. I did not see this, by the way. This is double starport, double reactor immediately. So he's able to produce 4 Vikings or 4 medevacs at a time. I think it's great.
It's a really nice read from Masa, realizing exactly how Hasu is going to play this. And the Colossus tech is going to be not so useful. Now Hasu does often like to make fast transitions up to High Templar, up to Archons.
This observer is pretty hard to spot because he's not moving. It's a little bit tricky. You see it? It's like so smart that he puts it exactly on this edge. I don't think that's on purpose, but it's a very hard to spot observer. So I can't blame Masa for not spotting that one immediately. You see it?
If you do this little camera rotation, you can see it pretty clearly.
Yeah, well, not everybody can do that.
Everybody can do that.
I don't know about that.
You can also just zoom in and out, and you can see it too. Like,
of course you can see it. I'm just saying that it's pretty hard to spot, man. Factory is taking a little bit of damage. The scouting factory for Masa. This soon is the phase of the game which I was talking, where Masa is going to have a strong army because of that triple orbital opening. Look at the amount of Vikings that he has already. He has 9 Vikings, only 1 medevac. He has only 1 medevac. It's only medevac.
Only 3 Colossi out for Hasu. He's got a scary army, but So does Masa. This is going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah, Blink is not ready yet, man. There is a lot of DPS in this army straight up. If these Vikings take out these Colossus, they have vision. They're going to get shots off already. This is going to be really hard to hold for Hasu.
One Colossus is going to fall before the fighting even starts, and Masa with a great army is going to have to deal with some pretty good force fields from Hasu. That sections off a few of those units. But every single Colossus is going to fall, and how are you going to play this out, Masa? Only one medevac to heal up those units.
Those force fields are pretty sick. One force field still blocking the Zealots.
Great force fields, but there's so many Marines that it might not even matter.
Well, Guardian Shield is helping out a lot, man. There's still quite a few Stalkers. I actually think HasuObs will hold for now. He needs one more warp in. He needs it bad, and he will get it.
No, he's going to hold, but it's going to be a very costly defense, Kevin. Losing every Colossus, losing every Sentry. And
yeah, but he has quite a bit of a bank, man. The moment HasuObs is able to spend the money he has right now, he's going to be fine on upgrades. And next time he will perhaps have Storm as well. Masa knows that so far, if you take a look at units lost resource step, man, we can see that Masa lost more. Yes, he mined more as well. But still, this was a push that could have potentially finished the game already. Instead, HasuObs did survive with some really key force fields. Those second row of force fields, and then this one force field just expired, allowed all these Zealots to have so much surface area over here.
Something else Masa did that was, or Hasu did that was very important, is he killed all of Masa's Vikings. So this continued commitment to Colossus tech is going to be even better, as we see Masa now going quadruple medevac production.
It's going to be tricky once more for Hasu to hold. He's down quite a bit of army supply, man. Masa is stimming, force fields going down. HasuObs trying to force as many stims as possible because there is only one medevac. That's, this is very smart. Masa only using a small selection of his units right now. HasuObs is trying to get the transition ready. He does have a Colossus though.
No, Colossus is going to help out so much, and Masa knows that he's going to probably have to back off from this position.
There are quite some reinforcements. There are 4 medevacs over there. Masa, you shouldn't lose all those Marauders. Ballsy blink over here by HasuObs. Such a close fight.
Oh, and here comes another little hit squad of Bio. Will he just click on that Colossus? It looks like no, the Colossus is going to sit back and do some really good damage.
Marauder was a hero as well, man. You see that? How much damage he took? Oh, HasuObs, your Colossus is very exposed. I think he's going to fall, man. Marauders!
He is at least aware of the danger and is going to back up to some reinforcing Zealots. This is really nice play from both sides. Each of these players keeping up with their macro very well.
Scan goes down. Masa's going to spot only one Colossus, but a second Colossus is going to join in real soon. There it is. But this one Colossus is so low on HP right now that it's almost again just one Colossus. I think if these 3 Marauders turn around right now, he can kill that Colossus, but I'm not sure if he thinks it's worth it. Vikings coming in.
The Vikings might be exactly what Masa needs to turn this once more. First Colossus goes down. Second Colossus actually should live, as the Stalkers are going to work on those Vikings.
What a close fight. What a sick fight, man. This fight has been going on for 4 or 5 minutes by now. HasuObs once more pushing Masa back. Masa's off still 30 army supply. He's at least going to lose one of the medevacs. Yeah, I love how HasuObs focuses the medevac. That's further away. So nice blink over here by Hasu. Gets both medevacs in the end. And it seems like he will be able to stabilize, and he has the Templar Archives. I don't think he started Storm yet. No, he's starting Storm right now, but he does have it.
Hasu is going to continue pushing, Kevin, and this might be a mistake. Masa did take a 4th baster and all of that.
Only 20 seconds left on this upgrading command center, man, until it's going to turn into a planetary fortress, and then I don't think the HasuObs will be able to bust this with all these charge loads. Wow, a lot of bio units. What a sick economy by Masa. Masa, during all that, man, he's been so aggressive. This Colossus is way out of position. Wow, beautiful Viking moving shots, by the way. Do you see it?
Yeah, man, Masa really is
such a good player.
The next level of North American Terran play. This is some exciting TPP.
Isn't it crazy that he went up to 4 bases during all that aggression? I had trouble keeping up with that fight, and during all that, Masa went up to 4 bases, still macroing well. So yes, HasuObs did a good job stabilizing on 3 bases, but look at the macro of Masa.
182 supply against 140 army supply.
25 Marauders, 32 Marines, 4 Vikings.
Almost a difference of 50 army supply. Hasu knows that
man.
He can't be out on the map. He's sitting back very defensively, but Masa's going to come forward once more. There are High Templar, but not enough energy for Storm yet.
This 3-3 bio units, and this is going to be so hard for HasuObs. He is all the way up to 3 Colossus again, and the Viking count right now not high enough for Masa to fight. Maybe when those 4 additional Vikings, which are in production right now, join in. Oh, you forgot about perhaps the Vikings?
Oh, and they're right over an Observer. Nice awareness here by Hasu. He's going to get 3 out of 4 Vikings. Great play there.
Forcing a couple of additional stims. Upgrade-wise, HasuObs is on 3-3 as well, but of course doesn't have the shield upgrade yet. He's working on the first one though. Warps in 7 High Templars right now. Wow, Hasu, where did you get all that gas from?
Of course, he warped with all that gas.
No, warp in 7 High Templars.
Make some Archons.
Of course, HasuObs has been warping in for Zealots for the longest amount of time, so that's why he was able to save up quite a bit of gas. Basically, the only thing he uses gas on a few Stalkers and Colossus. And upgrades, but he wasn't 3-based for a long time. He's getting his first Warp Prism. HasuObs is going to get a sick army after all, and he's going up to 4 bases now. We all know that HasuObs gets stronger and stronger the later the game goes.
Masa's pulled a bunch of SCVs into this army, Kevin. He's now, there are 10 SCVs joining all of his bio. So going to make for a very large Terran army. If Hasu can fight on the ramp, though, it might work out for him. Does drop 1 Storm, but that's all on top of the Zealots and the Vikings. Vikings are just going to park and shoot with the Colossi, but they're all going to fall before a single Colossus dies. Finally, a single Colossus does go down.
Not sure if that was very...
that was just like 40 supply donated by Masa, and Hasu didn't really lose much of anything.
No, lost 1 Colossus, but that's no big deal, as HasuObs is quite a good economy now as well. Masa knows it's time to get some Ghosts out, Ben. He does have a Ghost economy already, and we can see the first Ghosts are in production. He actually has 4 Rexes, so he's able to produce 4 Ghosts at a time if he wants to. 4 Rexes with Tech Labs, that is. 5, 6 even. So he should be able to produce an insane amount of Ghosts soon. More command centers going up as well. Really good game here on Daybreak. Well, look at the production tab, and this phase of the game for Masa is still producing 7, 8, 9 different things.
Yep, starting to add in sensor towers, continuing to produce Vikings, getting upgrades, getting cloaked for his Ghosts.
Only has 4 Vikings, and there are still 2 Colossus out. Those 2 Colossus can deal a lot of damage. Observer does fall. Warp Prism joining in. HasuObs can only warp in 2 Zealots, but even that's annoying.
This is an awkward angle to attack from. Masa seems very poised to receive any sort of Hasu aggression. What are those Stalkers doing?
Stalker, stop. A couple of Zealots going to run in this complete exposed turret base over here for Masa, while we're going to have a small warp in the natural of Masa as well. HasuObs doing a good job, perhaps forcing Masa out of position, but Masa doesn't have to pull all that many units to deal with this. Just going to stim a few small units. And of course he has Vikings to deal with the Warp Prism. What a good game so far on Daybreak, man. Exactly what we wished for.
Yeah, very, very nice play here from Hasu. Very nice plays from Masa as well. Hasu's going to try and make something happen. He really wants to pick a fight, but Masa's just sitting back playing very super defensively.
Warp Prism will fall in the main base. I like these Ghosts over here, man, on the high ground. What HasuObs trying to do, I think, is trying... Oh, HasuObs, what are you doing? Kind of mismicro the Stalks over there. Lost 3 or 4 Stalkers in the process. What I think HasuObs is trying to do, Ben, is bait Masa into a fight. Oh, does HasuObs have observers? How many observers do you have? He has 2 observers. One is on the top side of the map, but he's getting cannons to fall back on. I love it. How many times didn't I say that, man?
Great play there. They're going to offer some static defense and detection.
Yeah, the detection is the most important thing. Because HasuObs knows that good Terran players, they like to just use scans, snipe your observers, and then try to just go in with Cloak Ghosts, EMP all the High Templars, and then suddenly you are in a world of trouble because your Colossus are too slow to escape. Having cannons guarantees you that you're always going to have detection, and that makes it so much harder for a Terran to pull off that little trick, which won them so many games and lost me so many games.
Once more, Masa adding a bunch of SCVs to his army. He's going to push around the top half of the map. This is going to force Hasu to reposition as well.
Yeah, he doesn't have an observer over here, Ben. I think he only has 2 observers. One of them is on the top side of the map. Big fight going on right now. Zealots charging in.
Looks like a good angle for Masa, but some big storms being cast by Hasu. Huge storms. Not sure where the Ghosts are. More great storm. Masa running forward, charging through storm, and actually takes too much damage. Wow. Hasu's going to force him back once more.
HasuObs doing such a good job, basically having a line of High Templars. Look at these Ghosts, man. The Ghosts are kind of slow. One Ghost will fall. Look at these Zealots. The Zealot's like, I'm going to get you. And he gets the second Ghost. His last Ghost is going to fall. Great defense there by HasuObs. Great storms.
And great aggression coming from HasuObs, as Masa does not have that many units. What he does have, all very low on health.
Wow, such a good game.
Masa has to hold right here, but he's only got 100 supply. Hasu up over 150, continuing to warp in reinforcements.
Army supply is very even, man, but the biggest problem is these 3 Colossus, and Masa knows that he won't be able to have the Vikings out to deal with those Colossus. Calls GG, and HasuObs takes game number 1 on Daybreak, which is a really, really fun game.
Very well done by Hasu. Goes up 1-0 over Masa. And we'll be playing again. Well, what's the second map going to be?
It's going to be on Entombed Valley.
It's going to be Entombed Valley. So that's coming up, guys. That last game brought to you by Go to My PC. Remote access to your computer from anywhere on the planet. We are offering a promotional discount on that software over at nasl.tv/p/. Go to my PC. We're going to take a short break. Game 2, Hasa. What?
Hasa?
What?
He would be a good player too.
Hasu versus Masa.
Hasa the Zerg.
Don't go anywhere.